people will sort of look at me and think, well, you're the Mr. Conservative guy, you're on TV talking about law and order and all these things. All right for you. You know, you must have had a great upbringing, you must have had a great life, you know, you must have gone to all the right schools. Well, they couldn't be further from the truth. See, my life started, and I say this, because I shudder to think what the consequences might have been had it not, at the age of 3 and a half. At the age of 3 and a half, I was taken from my parents in a little town called Carterton, and I was put into foster care. Chance to think about it. You go through those things, but you don't always forget stuff. You have questions like, when you're sitting in class and people are talking about what they did in the holidays, they went to see this uncle and they went to see this grandparents and they went to see this, and you've got grandparents, they're foster grandparents. You actually are on your back the 5th set of foster grandparents to this day. And you're always left wondering in your own head, where are my uncles? Where are my grandparents? Why didn't they want me? Why am I living with these families? And I'm sorry, I didn't get any answers to those questions for a very, very long time. And so what it did actually is it actually made me tough, made me hard. I didn't just carry around a chip on one shoulder. I carried around 2 power poles, one on each, because I was a very balanced young man. You know, I had a chip on each shoulder, and no one was going to tell me anything, and nobody was going to screw with me. And no one was going to stop me doing the things that I wanted to do, which generally were good, actually. But they were the things that made me feel better, because it was my way of saying you too. My father and my parents' lifestyle, or my father's lifestyle, was a new pun. And I wondered why in the hell I ever exposed her to that. But it taught me a lesson. It taught me, one, that the life I'd had was hugely, hugely better for the life I was destined. And if I had stayed in that life, I would have probably been a very successful member of either the Mongol, Marlborough, Black Power or Highway 61 or one of them. I would not be what I am today. I learned, so I've always appreciated, and I will always to the day I die, be grateful to those foster parents who took me in. I learnt the value of compassion, I learnt the value of love, but more than anything, and I cast my eye a little bit further, in my time in the Middle East I got to command Arab and Indian soldiers. And I got the opportunity to go to Pakistan and India to recruit men to come and serve His Majesty Sultan Qaboos under my command. And I got the chance to go through places, they call it Mumbai now, it used to be Bombay. I got to places like Rawalpindi, Islamabad. And I already spent a lot of time in the Middle East, down in the Yemen, down in the Dhofar in Israel, and in Sinai and that, and I have seen some pretty bad stuff. So I am grateful, hugely grateful that I was born with 2 eyes that see, 2 ears that hear, 2 arms and hands that work, and some legs, and I've got my health. And I'd say this to you, every morning you wake up, look at yourself in the mirror. We all carry a whole bunch of stuff around with us. Put it in a box, lock the box, put it away. It ain't going to help you one bit dragging it out and going through that box every day and saying, oh, sorry me, sorry me, poor me. Look at me, I'm short, I'm bald, I'm brown, I'm broke. You know, I've got all the excuses in the world to go out and steal someone's car because certain people out there tell me that I do. Oh, look at him, he's a poor boy. No home, broken home, disrupted family. Of course he's a criminal. Bullshit. You will be, if you want to be, whatever you want to be. You must decide. And I'll put this to you. From this moment on, right now, what's the time? What's the time?
17 to 1.
17 to 1 on the 21st of July, 2011, I said this to you. The past is the past. Yes, it's hurt you. And there are times where you can get really upset and emotional if you sit there and dwell on it. But sitting there and dwelling on it is not going to shape your future. There are some fundamental things you have to do to have a good, positive future. I should have gone to those maths classes. I would have saved myself a whole heap of trouble later on in life if I'd just gone to the maths classes and put up with that dick of a teacher and got my paper. If I'd done it. But I got another chance, and you're getting that chance. You're getting that chance to take a stock take of yourself now, ask yourself where you want to be, and plan from that point to that point. And the key is this: don't let anybody, don't let anyone, don't let anything stop you. You set your goal. You got served up a bucket of it. Well, okay, that's life. If you think that's hard, I'll take you to Bombay. And you see a little girl with her legs all up like this and a shoulder over like that, begging on a footpath for someone to drop something into her tip. That's tough. I'll take you as Islamabad, Rawalpindi, into the Sinai Desert, where kids don't even get an education. I had soldiers in my unit, 35 years of age, could not even speak their own language, Arabic. We had to teach them. You don't have that. And for all of New Zealand's faults, the one thing we do have is a solid social welfare system that picks up people like us. It catches us in that safety net and it bounces us on our feet. Where we get it wrong is when we turn that safety net into a hammock and we go to sleep. And we lay there dreaming about what could be and telling everybody we can't do it because we had such a shit start. Well, it's over. You need to say to yourself, it's over. And you set your goals. And the great thing right now is you're actually surrounded by a whole bunch of people who want to help you take that next step. Take it. Suck their brains. Take everything out of their head that you can. Ask them questions. Get that guidance. Write it down. Take the notes and make your plan and go for it. Because there's one thing that you need to focus on, and as sure as God made little green apples, this is the truth, and you know it. You're going to bring another child into this life, if you haven't already. I brought 5 in. I lost one, a daughter. When I was your age, I was telling myself, I will never let what happened to me happen to my kids. So if you're not going to do this for yourself, you do it for your kids that you've yet to have, because their future is going to be determined by what I told you. I shudder to think what their lives today would be had I been in Cannons Creek. Or worse, if I'd carried on life with 2 big chips on my shoulder and my fist as a solution.